So now we've hit summer. And summer would be... So based on the end of the last one, it was him coming out of his teenage years, coming of age, that moment in his life of having that conversation with his father, throwing the tape out the window, the angst, everything like that, the wanting to leave, spurs him into his late teens, early 20s, I'm guessing here now. Going off to college or something like that, potentially. Where he gets a bit more freedom. And it looks like a crossroads because we have a direction that way, we have a direction this way. Let's go off for this one because it is where the points are leading us to start with here. So, let's head it up. Looks like there's a little house or something in the horizon there, maybe? Just another rock, maybe? No, it's another rock, okay. We'll take a look, though. Oh, mattress and beer cans in the middle of the woods. Never a pleasant sight. What's that mean? Looks like we got a couple of jumping things over here to do. Hopefully we get away from the butterflies and having to get through those butterflies again and again. That was a little bit tedious having to do that, but overall, I am enjoying the game so far. And the music is great. I just wish the music continued on more. It's a sign that I'm taking too long at a certain spot. That the music, if the music cuts out and I can't hear it anymore. Make it. Nice. Make it. There we go. I saw something over here. Hello. What was that indicating? It looked like I was gonna howl at the moon or something there. That's more wolves than it is foxes. What is that down there? Huh. Wonder if I should just jump down there. Caution to the wind. Let's go. Let's find out what this is all about. It looks like... a tent. Sleep bag and an unmade tent? Or unlifted tent, maybe? Or very, very, very low tent. So the guy sounds like he's probably in his like late 20s, most likely. The character here, the narrator, I would say mid to late maybe. And that means fall would line up perfectly with where we're gonna be present day, if this is going through the timeline of his life, like we suspect it is, and it's just shown us to be so far. Let's see what this one's all about. It's our first memory in the new area here. What is this building? Oh, this is like a barn? Oh, cool. Kind of half buried.
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real, growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
Yeah, I don't quite get that joke. But whatever. That was sounding like a laugh, just a nervous laugh of, it wasn't that funny, but okay. She's saying that they're good company because these ghosts and spirits were hanging out in a spot that they were killed. It's a weird joke. It's a weird joke. Nice jump. All right. It's hard to see in this area because we have so many rolling hills and trees and stuff that it's tough to know where exactly the next big story beat's gonna be. But we'll follow the beams of light here. Looks like there's a path over that way, maybe? We're off the beaten path for sure. Before we had a path. Okay, there's one over here. Pretty far. And there's one over here. Well, not necessarily over that way. Okay, let's go this way first then. There's definitely something over here. Yeah, there's a story beat there too. And there's another one of those little things. Maybe we'll figure out what those are about this time. Maybe it's this area's mechanic, like the butterflies were, but it didn't seem like it could do anything for us.
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
Well, that's pretty touching. We found Joseph carved in the tree here. I really didn't think they would get back together like that, and I wonder what would finally drive them apart. And maybe he just traveled away for college, never came back. This is the obsidian rock he mentions, I think. The 3 obsidian rocks. Nothing's happening this time around, though. I'm gonna jump on it. Not quite sure about this one. The other one seemed like it had an animation there of some kind. I don't know. All right. We got one more rock to find then. That is 3 obsidian rocks. That would be those 3. So, it's gotta be one over this way then maybe. We're just taking a nice walk in the woods. Either way, we're happy. Yeah, it's very strange. I did not think that they would have gotten back together and connected at all. It seemed like he was going in the way of just kind of hating his father, leaving and never coming back, and he kind of feels guilty about that. But it seems more than that now. These aren't just unrequited memories. They're fond memories almost. It seemed at first it was like painful, bittersweet, but now it's like, I don't know, good memory actually of him actually having a talk with his dad. At least we find out right now that it's not real or something like that.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
So I thought we had already gone this way, but these 3 nodes are sitting here still. This seems kind of to be back the way we came though. It's kind of possible I just missed the path here, but I don't want to neglect anything here, so we're gonna follow it for a minute and see what happens. There was something back behind us too. So this looks like where we came in. Okay, so this was this way, this was that way, and this is that way. Okay. We saw the mattress that he mentioned earlier. Was it in the bed of the old truck or whatever? And then it looked like there was some more spots over here further down the road. So let's head that way. Beyond this carving here. This birdhouse carving. I don't think you can carve a birdhouse. So he must have carved it from several pieces of wood and done some woodworking. I mean, he must be using tools rather than just like whittling or something like that. That's originally how I thought of what they were describing there, but it seems like he's carving it out of... He might be taking out a single piece of wood, but he's using a lot of machinery and that kind of thing to carve it, I think. Carpentry stuff. That's an interesting boulder. Like a jet black boulder. I'm nervous for the kind of turns this is going to take here. If they do separate again. I don't know. It seems like having, confessed his plans to his father of going to become an architect or whatever. It's not like necessarily something they could afford, probably, like schooling or something like that, but I mean, if he's working as much as he is, probably trying to make ends meet somehow. I mean, you don't work that much unless you have to, I feel like. So, yeah, you might just be trying to get the hours in to make ends meet. Or something else, possibly. All right, here we go. Slowing down up the hill here. So now, almost an entire year has passed since the fox has seen the cubs.
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
So, we had a no trespassing fence back there. And that was the first thing we've seen that's been like the wrong size, I feel like. Everything else has seemed like it may be, at least on the surface, comparably sized to what you'd expect for the relationship between a fox and a tank might be, or a car, or anything like that. But that was novelty size trespassing sign. Oh, come on. Just barely missed it. All right, let's go. They keep going this way. Hopefully this isn't the end of the area here. Except there was more to explore for sure. The other direction here. Kind of got to pick a direction to go. And there might be, I don't think we'll get everything this playthrough. I think if we do other playthroughs, we know where the cutoff points are. And be able to get all the secrets and everything like that. But right now, I'm satisfied. I don't think we're missing anything important. We might be getting a little more disjointed story than I'd like. Because we're doing stuff in the wrong order, but I'm still liking it. And so far, there hasn't been anything that's too weird as far as the story it tells. Like something out of place or something like that. It's designed well. I can't get back up this way. I kind of wish that this worked differently though, because it's a pain in the butt. All right, 2 more. And I'm hearing something over here. Oh, there's one of these. Don't know the point of this yet. Hopefully we're not missing it. I have to run back all the way through this thing to get the other one. My guess is we are missing something. All right, so I had to go back and redo the this area, unfortunately. There is no good save. There's no save feature except for the beginning of the area. So if you want to quit in the middle of it, you have to restart everything. And I didn't want to have to re-record everything. So we're just kind of running through everything and collecting. And I did speak with my good friend Fixer, and we kind of worked through what to do with these standing stones here. And I tried it on one, it did work. I went back to the one by the tree there, where he talks about carving. And all we got to do is time it just right, and so we click it right when the thing hits. I think it's what it is. It worked one time. There it is. Okay. So that's what needs to happen, and that's what we need to. And so we have to go back to the other one around there. A couple of thoughts, though, since my previous discussion of the area here. I heard all of these lines of dialogue again, and a lot of stuff I glossed over initially, but actually it's pretty significant. Least significant is that I finally got that joke about the ghosts, and him talking about that the girlfriend or wife or whatever is like, oh, well, you know, you were in good company because the ghosts wanted to live in a place that they were devoured. That was because he had just said that he was a weird kid. And so she's saying they're weird ghosts, basically. It is funnier upon review now. It is confirmed funnier. The second thing is, and I'm going to try to work my way back there. Right now, maybe I'll just shut up till we get there. But I think I found one other really big thing that until we understood the context of the story, we didn't grasp at first. Let's head back over there quick. So my thought, as I was walking up the road here, we didn't come this way. We took the other path because we saw some things down that way. But my thought is, especially upon seeing this little scene here, this is the first tree. This is the tree that's the title tree. And that music kicked on just right at the right moment for me talking about this. When we got over here, we uncovered the campsite, basically. Where he and his father, his father kind of just finally decided to... He broke down and finally went with his father and had their first conversation. The knife was what we found here. This is the first tree, because in the story he relays, he carved his name into this tree and forgotten about it. And when they went to their campsite together, he saw it again. And this is the first time he carved into a tree. And they talked about him wanting to become an architect and all that stuff. And that's when him and his father kind of connected for the first time. He appreciated how much his father had sacrificed to give him what he had. And at the same time, his father saw him in a new light as well. And they kind of have a growth of their relationship from that point forward. So it actually is the most significant portion of dialogue in the game there. And we kind of just glossed over it at the time. It was a very touching story. I mean, obviously we admitted to that, but that is the first tree. I'm willing to bet everything on that. Not everything, maybe not everything, but never bet everything. It's a rule of thumb. But I will stake. I'm 90% certain. Let's put it that way. 90% certain that that's the first tree. That's the titular first tree. So I'm just gonna go back through and get some of the dialogue we've already seen before here. And we're gonna look for that third standing stone we found before. I've kind of lost where it is. We have to go locate it again here. All right, we've relocated the third stone here. It was tough to find without the markers guiding me before, is why I couldn't find it previously. First try. How about that one? Whoa. Whoa. Oh, that's this. Oh, this way's open now. Where's it taking us? No, wait, this was here before, wasn't it? We just heard stones moving though. What was opening to us? Something. Huh. Let's look around here quick. I didn't see anything moving. We're not facing every single direction. Make sure it's nothing obvious. Is this the gap? This is where we came in. Alright, so we heard that rock sound, and I looked all over the place. My only thought is that we come back to the first tree here. What I'm assuming, I'm going to call the first tree here. And I think that bramble that was in front of it might be gone now. If that is the way forward. And it is. Okay, good. I wish there was a little cutscene to explain that to us. Because you can do these in any order. But yeah, just show that the bramble's falling away a little bit there. So we know to come back here. If it's not supposed to be mystery, if there's no reason to make it so, just let us know that it was the way we're supposed to go here. Oh, look at this.
The perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
Yeah. That wolf is the villain. And yeah, we have to suspect that his father is dead. So, saw that coming. Getting a little too touching there for a minute, and I knew that it was going to bring us way down. I'm going to cautiously move over here. Not for any practical reason, but for cinematic effect. This guy's gigantic. Get him. Get him, little fox, get him.